back, everybody. My name is Joe, and you're at episode 498 of the Joe is Hungry channel, where today we're headed back to Arby's because they decided to troll us with a couple new barbecue sandwiches, which we will try out one at a time right here within the city limits of Fairmount, Georgia. Before I get started, I'd like to send a special shout out to Eric. Appreciate the super thanks. Bray, thank you for your support and happy birthday. Curtis, happy birthday and thank you for supporting the channel. Kaylee, happy 17th from me to you. Lindsay, Toby, Kaylin, and Michael, Peter, and Christopher, I want to wish each and every one of you a very hungry happy birthday. Like I said, Arby's has two limited time offer barbecue sandwiches. The quarter-pound pulled pork sandwich, which is what we're going to do today, and the beef brisket barbecue sandwich, which we will do in a subsequent video. The pulled pork version is made up of pulled pork, and according to Arby's, hickory smoked for 6 hours, garlic-dill pickles, your choice of barbecue sauce. The first one is Cedric's sweet barbecue sauce, and the second is Anthony's spicy Chipotle smoky sauce on a single toasted sesame seed bun. Each one of these will add a mere 340 calories to your formerly slim waistline. I have the full nutritional information on the screen and in the description below. To take ownership of one of these, you're gonna have to part with $5.99 or make it a medium combo for $10.39 before taxes in Georgia. Fortunately for my inquiring mind, Arby's has serving weights in their nutritional information. Each pulled pork sandwich is supposed to weigh in at 196 grams or 6.91 ounces. If I break out the good old fuzz cat calculator, I come up with a preliminary, and I do stress preliminary, high, middle of the road, 87 cents an ounce. Will this thing be served at a decent temperature? Will it even pass the weight test? Is this video gonna end in utter disappointment? Well, we're gonna find out shortly when we roll the drive-thru at Arby's in Cartersville, Georgia. Wish me luck today.
Welcome to Arby's. You can order when you're ready.
I had an app order for 5 pulled pork.
Go ahead and pull around there.
We are once again in the Arby's penalty box. Hopefully they're gonna pass the Joe is Hungry temperature test, but we will see in just a few minutes.
Sticks and stones, broken bones, put a tag on they tongue like sticks and stones, broken bones, put a tag on they tongue like sticks and stones, broken bones.
I've got my pulled pork. Let's get out of the penalty box and do the Joe is Hungry temperature test. Pulled pork number 1 is 148.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Pulled pork number 2 is 151.5 degrees Fahrenheit. Pulled pork number 3 is 145.4 degrees Fahrenheit. If you've been watching my channel, you know I like my temperatures at 140 degrees or above. You see, Arby's can even do it, even with barbecue. So today, they passed the Joe is Hungry temperature test. Now it's time to open this thing up, see how much meat is inside, tear this thing apart for all to see, head back to the studios and do the Joe is Hungry weight test. Well, Arby's, you didn't do too bad on that temperature test. You see, I got faith in you. It can be done at Arby's. It is proven now. However, Arby's gives us the barbecue sauce on the side in these little packets. So I have to take account for that because it is part of the deal. So let's see if they can keep the momentum going when I take off for this packaging. In other words, I set the chair on the scales. Pulled pork number 1 weighs in at 8.15 ounces or 231 grams. Pulled pork number 2 weighs in at 8.10 ounces or 229 grams. Pulled pork number 3 weighs in at 8.00 ounces or 227 grams. Well, the difference between the heaviest and the lightest is less than 10% of the average weight of all three. So today, Arby's, you pass the Joe is Hungry consistency weight test. Well, Arby's, you know they have serving weights in their nutritional information. Now, if you add in the sauce, they're going to be well above their own posted serving weights. If you take it away, they're going to be slightly below. It adds about 1.5 ounces. And to be fair, because it's included, they pass the Joe is Hungry weight test. Now, all we have left to do is add them all up, average them out, do the math, and if you include the barbecue sauce, that's going to cost you 74 cents an ounce. However, if you take the barbecue sauce, throw it away, or they forgot to put it in your bag, that's going to cost you 91 cents an ounce. And that leads us to the next test, the one and only, the Joe is Hungry Big Reveal.
Everything I do, they echo.
This is what it looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. This is what it looks like, and this is what it's supposed to look like. We've seen what it looks like, and we saw how much it was. Not a terrible price for authentic pulled pork coming out of a drive-through window. Not these days anyway. As far as what it looks like compared to its ad photos, there may be a little bit of ad photo puffing going on. What do you think? Leave it in the comments. This definitely has some flat factor going on. The bread's soft, it crushes on everything. Well, that only leaves one more thing to do and one more test to take, and that would be the Joe is Hungry bite test. So it is. Bite test, engage. This was definitely a very messy sandwich, especially if you have to add your own barbecue sauce. It's gonna go everywhere, especially in your lap and the seat of your car. The bread seems fresh and soft, but it crushes very easily, as you have seen. The pulled pork is generous in this little sandwich, but really nothing special in the taste department. The 2 pickle slices were tangy and crunchy, but would have gone better if they'd used 4. The barbecue sauce is sweet, tangy, and tart, and adds most of the flavor to the sandwiches. With that being said, and before I pass my final judgment, I would like to pull back the curtains of time, see what Shadow Joe says, and do the Joe is Hungry Sneak-a-Doodle Bite. Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 1. Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 2. Sneak-a-Doodle Bite number 3. As a note, it does not come with barbecue sauce on. They give you that on the side in the little packs, and I did add some for the Sneak-a-Doodle Bite. The barbecue seems to be well cooked and tender. The bread obviously gets the flat factor going on right away. The barbecue sauce is kind of sweet and benign. Now it's time to give this thing a score. If you don't know my scale is 1 to 10, 9 being the best. Anything above 9 is a once in a lifetime experience and almost never achieved. 5 and down is that slippery slope to the pits and depths of fast food hell. So let's go ahead and give this the number that it truly deserves. Arby's. Actually, Not a bad pulled pork sandwich for a fast food place. Not real pretty, and actually quite messy if you try and eat this thing in your car, especially when you have to take it apart and add the barbecue sauce. But still, not a bad value. So today, I'm gonna have to go 6.9. That is my number. This is my review, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.